follow is a presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1.
What's up, everybody? Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning into this epic, entertaining Uno match that we've got in store for you tonight. In the beginning of March of 2025, we have officially entered the madness portion of March Madness here for this Middle Road Energy Uno tournament. We are down to the Elite Eight. And tonight, especially, we're taking care of the Slytherin finale between KT on your left and Lane Sanders on the right. It's a New Jersey versus Alabama showdown, and it is about to begin in just a few moments for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jesse Turner up in the commentary booth, having the proud duty of calling this electrifying matchup. We have a great amount of people here in the watch party, too, in Discord to witness this. And, yeah, so glad that you folks can join in on the ride, as KT and Lane are going to give it all that they've got. Why don't we go over to the bracket now and show you all of the opponents in the regions that have taken place leading up to this night. On the top left, over in the Gryffindor finale, Ashley, the defending Super League champion, she was able to defeat Shamik in a 5-3 ending, as she is going to move on to the Final Four, awaiting the winner of either KT or Lane's matchup here. Over in the top right, the Hufflepuff region, Diego Yepes, one of the OG Super League champions. He was able to take down Captain in a 5-2 win. He moves on to the Final Four to face the winner of the Ravenclaw region, and Nick. He was able to defeat Toasty 5-1 in a more dominating win over there. So Yepes and Nick, Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw, and the winner of Slytherin, KT and Lane. Either of these guys will get to face the defending Super League of Ashley. Lane needs one or two more wins to join the veteran class, looking to make his second overall Final Four. While KT, he's been rolling in the dough a lot in these March Madness tournaments. He is looking for his fifth Final Four appearance. So that being said, why don't we go over to the stage here, get out of the bracket. And why don't we bring everyone in? We got Tapir up here joining me in the booth, as well as Charles Samper here. And glad to have you fellas being able to witness here this with me. What are your beginning thoughts as this match is going to get set to begin? Either one of you can go first.
I didn't know if the question was to me. Sorry.
Yeah, either one.
I mean, for me, I honestly, you have the legend on one side, you have Lane on the other side, who's come into his own a little bit. I'm expecting this to be a really hard-fought match, truthfully. Lane can be prone to some mind games, so it's going to be interesting to see what KT can do, especially with not having Lane here to be able to fall victim to him. I think that's maybe part of Lane's plan on why he's not in here and just going to field the questions through his stream. But he's come a long way from where he started, and these are two Super League players from last year. We've seen them both do well on the big stage. March is a big stage as well. This should be entertaining.
All right, awesome, Tapir. Now, how about your pre-game thoughts? We've seen both of these players go through a lot to get to this point with each of the roads that they've gone down and all that they've had to go through. Like, just what are your, I guess, predictions for this? Is we get to see the winner of this Slytherin region by the end of the night?
Thank you, JT. Glad to be here. First of all, I just got to say, let's be honest. In what universe in what universe did Lane Sanders make an Elite Eight? Absolutely crazy. He has been quite a force in this in this league. Granted, Ambo Clay, three of his victims so far. Not as much of a slaughtering, if you will, as KT has with his wins, but he still pulled off the W in those three. So it's going to be interesting to see how hot he still is, and see kind of, KT is obviously going to be one of those players that has those 100 different looks that he can just pull out of his tool bag at any one time. So we're going to have to see how Lane is going to field those. Of course, on the other hand, KT is KT, right? He's, legend in his own right. Legend is an understatement at this point. He's got that one sweep against Drip in the 32, coming off of that 5-2 with Sting. So, who's, of course, a formidable opponent in his own right. So, obviously for KT, it's going to be about, composure, just getting that W quick as possible, right? Quick, easy finish for KT so he can get into that final four. So I think we're going to see a pretty solid matchup tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. And best of luck, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you very much, fellas, for your inputs. So yeah, well, without being said, we can head on down to the stage where we meet our two contestants here for tonight, KT and Lane. I'll start with you, KT. You got that electrifying win the last time in the last match that I got to call you on, and now you've made it on the verge of your 5th Final Four appearance. I mean, also joining the 100 win club, which is also in rare territory to get to as well. I mean, so despite all that accomplishments, do you think they mean anything here, or you think everything you've done to get at this point is just meaningless? It's just you versus Lane, winner take all, and a loser goes home.
I've been here 6 times, right? I know the ins and outs of this tournament. This is my favorite tournament of the year. It's March Madness. I love this place. I know it's a legacy game. I win this game, 3 March Madness Final Fours. I know what I gotta do. It's simple. Lane's a hell of an opponent. I checked his tape. He's a great guy. His power play game is ridiculous, and I'm ready to go, man. I don't think I've ever played a game this late in my life, but it's been a while, or if I had played one this late, so I had to break out of smelling salt, make sure we're good. But let's get it going. I'm looking forward to it. I know Lane's watching the stream, so ask him a question. I'm ready to roll, man, after some technical difficulties, for sure.
All right, perfect. Yeah, and we appreciate you fans, being as patient as you were as we sorted those difficulties out. But yeah, KT with that thrilling victory over Stingray. He is in the position he's in. And we'll go over to Lane. If you're able to hear this, you're on the cusp of making just your 2nd ever Final Four. It's a chance that not too many players come around often. And do you see yourself as I guess more of the underdog in this scenario? But just what do you think is if you're facing KT, and then if you do move on to KT facing Ashley? So your thoughts about tackling those 2 players if you get that chance? But while Lane's getting his answer typed out, this is basically a showdown of the North and the South on the East Coast, that is. So we're gonna see which which side of the Mason-Dixon line is going to come out on top of this one. But yeah, Ashley will await the winner of this one. I mean, then again, she is Super League champ, so I mean, both of these players, even though one of them is going to get the victory, they're still going to have to dread the matchup that they're going to face when they get to Ashley. And Lane's got his reply. Thank you very much. I would feel that we're going to have a good time with the good old boss man. I think we got a good shot to get the next round and get to the final four. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, keeping up that optimism and trying to keep up that confidence as we're just a mere seconds away from this game getting underway. And I believe nothing more needs to be said. We'll get right to the action. So it's a best of 9. Each player gets 2 power plays to use. And since KT is the higher seed, he'll have the first call. So we can do 5 or 15. What are you going to go with?
Game 1, JT, we'll run the 14, baby.
Starting with 14 as we got Caesar on the spot. Getting our initial start count. Best of luck to Lane and KT. It's going to be a good one, I feel. And we're off and running with an Austin the Plant 5. KT starts.
KT takes a moment there to sort through his hand, try and figure out his plan A, plan B, and plan C, more than likely at the very least. Plans D through F probably wait till later as we get green 0 there from Lane. Now 1 up that time.
See, I gotta think that Plan D is gonna come for sort of game 4, 5, 6 at this moment, because right now I think KT and Lane are kind of just trying to get a grasp for those patterns and routines, and then we're gonna see some pretty explosive action toward the middle of the pack.
Yeah, it definitely looks to be explosives that we're now venturing into the blues. As KT gets looks like a triple going from green to blue. But now with Ghost number 1 into a red.
Well, KT's been one of those players. He doesn't usually end up playing many close games, as evidenced by the fact that he's got the most blacklisted games out of anyone in the league. So wouldn't be surprising to me that he might be doing a little cat and mouse as well here early on. Maybe playing a little game with his food before really hammering it down later on in the series. Already is also deafened too, so trying to reduce his distractions at least by 1 level.
And sometimes you got to do that, right? Just focus on that game. KT going really aggressive with the light switching.
Actually, that was Lane that had the light switch there into red 6, the same for card.
Very true. It's almost as if Lane is trying to, well, there you go. KT back to the yellow. So that's the twice he's done that this game. It's almost as if Lane is trying to play into KT's hand a little bit, trying to get a couple of his light switches of his own.
KT into prime red zone territory, half the cards that Lane has right now.
This could be it.
Oh, ouch. He's going to set KT back. Easy triple. Good work by Lane to pull that move from out of his sleeve.
It'll play. Yeah, predictable draw there from Lane down at 2 cards on the switch to yellow.
KT really trying to run those yellows right now.
This looking for the tie. There it is. Now can KT take the lead?
Yeah, Lane's a bit frozen on that end. And again, KT could be coming with a comeback here despite having to draw 4 just a moment or two ago.
Yeah, I mean, when you get the opponent drawing, a lot of times just a matter of playing the number efficiency, trying to plan out what numbers you want win, and there it is.
Whoa! How about
Too
that?
easy.
Blue Wild 4 into a JT5, and KT takes the first game at just over 4 minutes. So how about that, KT? You were able to pull off a quick game 1 win, 14 card start. Now, in a situation where your opponent is at 2 or 3 and he throws a +4 at you and he sets you back, another 4 cards, and all of a sudden you're like 4 or 5 cards behind, how stressed do you often get in those scenarios?
What was the question, Jay? I'm sorry, I was deaf and a little bit long.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, I remember how Elaine, he threw the +4 at you, and he was at 2 or 3 cards, and then he set you back. So, how stressed do you get in those situations, knowing your opponent's that close, but you're still a little bit distance away, and you got ground to make up? You were still able to make it work.
Well, I made it work, and I tried to fake wild there. I actually only had that one blue, so I decided to burn one, try a little fake wild, see if he bite, and he didn't. So he did a great job staying composed, so I worked my way around it. Do I get nervous? I mean, I've been here so many times, man. I think this is my 30th career series tonight in the regular season. I've been here so many times now, and when you get so much in March, and Sanford can allude to, he's got a lot of wins in his career. You just start it. It's muscle memory. You get to a point where, okay, throw a +4. What do you got back? Usually card history, right? For a 14 card start, 4 minutes. Everyone thought, oh, KT, where's the 10-minute game? But I do have that dog in me to go quick. So, but this one I was playing a little bit of games with the Wild. Try some things, right? And Lane did a good job of not biting for it. I'll give him that for sure.
Oh, to confirm, yes, 30th series. If you were to lose, you'd be at 20-10. So technically the first person to play 30 series in the regular season.
All right, now this question for Lane. When you did have that +4, was that the only one that you really had? Because I know once KT got to those yellows, he kind of froze you a bit, and then that's when he was able to overpower you. So was that really the only one you had available? And as he's typing up Tapir, what do you think of KT making that a little mini comeback? Because like he said, he's been here many series, so he didn't really seem all that nervous. But how would you handled it if that would have happened to you?
Well, of course, I'd hope I do it in the same way, just kind of run those yellows a little bit. I have to say, I really liked KT's double ditto on that Brock 1. Just percentage Uno, right? You know he's going to have to draw. Even if he plays at 7 first and then goes back to the 1, there's a chance that he's going to get color efficiency on that 7. So it's best not to even entertain that thought and just run those yellows clean, and that's what gave him the win. So I think, as always, the first game rather, always sets a tone for the rest of the match. So seeing as how KT was obviously, composed as always, he just said it himself. He's been around the block so many times. He's going to just play it cool and hopefully get to 5 before Lane does. So we'll see how that one goes.
Lane mentioning got rid of his only +4, had a plan, got stuck in the draw city.
Yeah, thank you for that reply, Lane. And yeah, I mean, of course, we all know Lane. He's the plan man. I mean, even though he is sitting down 1-0, I mean, I'm sure he's got plenty more that he'll show us. But anyway, everybody, I think we can.
He's also the man of the plans too. He's got about 60 of them. So
yeah. Okay, how about we go on to the second game? So 14 is off the cards, but you got all the other choices available, KT.
I've never done this in my career, but we're going to try this. I don't think I've done this ever in my career. We're going to go OG7.
An OG7. Yep, there we go. And never too late to try something different or even go back to the basics. So all right, we got a green 0 sugar to start off with this one. So we literally cut this amount of cards in half from game one.
Yeah, not too bad. Does lend itself a little bit to maybe some luck, so we'll have to see if someone has to do some early draws. Maybe one player's able to roll with this.
And keep in mind on that 7-card starter, pretty much anything below 9, you're going to have a lot more draws to have to get through. So even though we have less cards, we may see a little bit of a longer series this time.
Well, an early swap there to red. And the one thing that KT's going to be good for here is definitely he's not going to make this easy for Lane no matter what. Another color swap. Lane's rolling with it so far. Pulls out the Turner card.
A little bit of a bribe on stream.
Yeah, Lane still has a 2-card advantage.
KT, though, also in the prime red zone territory, as we like to call it.
Yeah, we saw
Anything
KT
in that final 5 cards.
Yeah, we saw him come back from being 4 down to the win the last game, but so far Lane he might be in a position to. Oh, look at this there.
Looking for Uno, I think. No.
Nope, that gets him
Is
to. It is Uno. Oh, he
I thought it
just
was.
was able
I
to.
looked, I'm like,
He
yeah,
just
great,
was
didn't
able
he?
to say it.
I wonder if he was fishing for something there.
I mean, he tried to pull a KT on KT, I think, for a moment there.
Ultimate power
Just
move.
nearly did. Is this going to be it? Can Lane seal the deal? No, he can't. And he's
Maybe
back
the
to
delayed
2.
Uno call might have been a sign that he didn't have it. That sometimes that is a strategy where some people maybe don't call Uno to try and get called out.
And this is interesting going into green because you would think Lane's got green, maybe obviously not yellow, but maybe he's got green or 2 green, that is.
Yep, he's back to the Uno check again. Still on the greens. KT has to draw. Oh, but so does him. And looks like they may both be drawing unless somebody gets a top deck.
Interesting. Well, there.
That is a top deck of all top decks.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Sure
a top deck
is.
after it appears on heart. That's what that was.
Just because I'm here, right?
Yeah.
Saturday night, we're all chilling.
Hey, I'm going to throw in any player reference I can throw in here at any point.
Absolutely.
We had the red 7 though from Lane.
Yeah, the rolls are reversed.
A little bit.
KT now has the 2-card lead, so the rolls are reversed. We got a DJ Curtis 5.
With Lane sitting at 5.
But there's Stingray, who KT beat in the Sweet 16 match to get to this match.
Watch us drive.
Here we go. Still, KT doesn't have a yellow. Or he's dry on him. Once again. Oh, but now Lane's got to draw again. Both players tied at 4 cards.
Well, we've already passed this is already a longer game 2 than game 1 was, so already past the 4-minute mark, nearing 4:30.
And there's a flex.
Wild.
Yeah, what a flex to use. Playing his own KT Blue Wild. Did Lane have any blues, in his pocket there? And he uses his power play.
Game 2.
How about that? He may have a run here.
Interesting.
He still has 1 left after this.
Gotta be.
Is it going to be
There
it?
It is.
Green skip. He's got to close it out. Yes, he does. Way to go for Lane. He's going to tie the series with a great power play execution. Well, there you go, Lane. You didn't seem all too concerned about using the power play here in the second game out of 9, but still worked out well to your advantage. Talk to me how about you were able to piece that final run together.
And while Lane
Yeah.
does that, actually, I'll have to wait for KT to undeafen first. Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay, KT, I got a question for you. You're one that's usually been known to draw anytime you want.
Mhm.
Talk to me about the early draw. Was it a situation where 7 card start didn't have the connector off of it, so it was more of a early draw to try and get the connectors first, or did you just absolutely not have any green early on?
No green at all. And then the +4 was not a top deck. I had a +4 in my hand, but I didn't want to use it. Remember, I don't usually go low, but the reason why I went low there is he's damn good with these early power plays. I finally got a blue +2. Okay, maybe I'm thinking I make the break. It's early. If I don't get the win, maybe he loses that power play. But damn, that's a special move on him. We saw it on tape. He's one of the best at throwing them early. He doesn't care about winning the series with him. And we saw that. I think I just mentioned that. So great play to Lane, man. Full respect on that for sure. Absolutely.
Yes, and Lane does have his answer. I had gotten pieces together for that final run and decided to power play it and not risk it. Yes, excellent. Yeah, that was definitely some smart playing by Lane to slowly, draw back, get the final run that he needed together, and the power play is ultimately what got him that game 2 win. And he will go
Oh,
with
and
13
already
cards.
goes right back up to towards the top. The OG send.
Yes, as we'll look to get this started here with 13. Caesar will be on that.
I stepped away. There it is.
And okay, and we are in the Huntsville neighborhood, and Lane is gonna get the call the first shot.
Caesar. Caesar approves of the start. We'll see.
Yes.
I doubt either player would be one to stack this, so I'm not expecting a +2 here from Lane. Oh, fair enough.
It'll definitely be quite a shot to fire if he was to stack it, but no, he's just gonna go the regular 9.
No. Just that simple 9. If this on the older bot, definitely was a spot where drawing heaven was definitely not. It's good to draw on 9s previously, as what I'm trying to say there. Usually on the 9, you would almost always get something good if you drew on it. I'm waiting on the green 6 to go through. There it goes. Slight bot lag.
So far, Lane not having anything to answer on that 6. Going 1 up, KT does.
Allows Lane to use his own card to switch.
Yep, there's a based play. And there's Bad Brad with the deuce.
Interesting thing to. Well, that's the first +2 of the
There he
match
goes.
to be played by either player. Up to this point, the bot had more +2s than either player.
And how about this
Big
quad
one.
into a 5-pack, into a 6-pack
Holy moly.
potentially? Can it? And it is a
Yep, it is a
6-packer.
6-packer.
Wow. Man, bet we didn't see
Halfway to
this
a
one
perfect game
coming.
if we're in bowling.
And that was only just to get the 6 cards.
Yeah, it might have been a little early. Especially because KT is gonna be easy to
on that +2. He chose not to use it, so I'm wondering if that's again where we're going to see some of that explosive action take off later in the series. Even here, I don't really love that 6-bagger because those reverses have a lot of flexibility that you can use. So we're gonna have to see what that entails.
Is a ditto play by Lane gonna just roll calmly with these ELOs now?
Little triple play there from KT though. Gets him back to within 2.
Yep, now we switch it up. There's Tapir getting a little play shot out by Lane.
And a half off special as well.
Oh, yep, 8-4.
And why did I do that? KT draws. Lane looking for check.
Yes, he does.
That's twice he's done that now. Where he's tried to sneak it in, but I've been like one step ahead of him on it.
He's going to be able to capitalize on that. And that's back-to-back wins for Lane Sanders, and he now has the series lead.
I would definitely ask Lane about the attempted sneak attack Unos since he's done that in back-to-back games.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's interesting that we noticed like you have the first game when you got to Uno originally, you missed the call up, and then you were able to get it back. And then this game, we see you do it again. Is there some kind of method to the madness, or was it just pure coincidence?
Want to get a good lead. I mean, and then maybe for KT, a good question here would be, obviously you're no stranger to being down 2-1. Card play is pretty even. You have same amount of +4, same amount of skips, same amount of, basically same amount of cards played through 3 games. Is there anything you're noticing, at least with the difference in card chain? Because you're not getting the card chains that Lane's seeming to get right now. Expecting it to play back in your favor then, here in games 4, 5, and 6, maybe?
I'm not worried because it's an even game on the well, in fact, I don't even have a +2 yet. I really haven't been getting much, but you know what, in terms of the chains, but I have been getting the action cards. Don't start the game yet. I'm still answering. But we'll see. It's early, right? A long way to go. That's the beauty of a best of 9, right? You got time. Congratulations to Lane. Winning now the Vets class because Toasty lost today, so he got that award. Right? Congratulations to him there. And, yeah, I'm okay with it because, like I said, it can flip at any moment. I tried that 7 as an experiment. Maybe he goes back that he can't use it. I don't know. So I'm still in a good spot right here. We still got time. And, yeah, congrats to Nick that he helped out.
Nice hero.
And then, Lane, before we start the game, you want to talk to us about the Uno calls and whether or not it's just accident or you're trying to do it and getting beat to the punch by us, noticing that you're getting down to Uno? Are they building something better for the revolution? According to Sun, streaming through Windows Out had installed himself, illuminating father and son surrounded by blueprints and possibilities. Outside, his truck waited for Monday's work. Then loaded with materials for Monday. It was nice.
It was nice.
Okay,
Yeah. I got. Well, yeah, pretty interesting take. Yeah, well, just he can neither confirm nor deny it. I respect that approach. All right, so anyway, Lane for a second homestand, he'll go down to 11 as he enters this one with momentum on his side for the time being. And here we go with an RIO1 Aria. Yeah, butchered that name pretty good, even to this day.
Wait, what?
Arya.
What?
There, I got it right.
No, no, no. I'm looking at the. Oh, that's a play.
No, I said her name wrong again, and then I had to correct myself.
Well, no, what caught me off guard was Lane saying he thought it was going to start 3 hours ago, even despite the 24-hour notice part. Well, we have trips 2.
Yeah, we're gonna ring around
Over to yellow again from KT.
Yeah, gonna try and ring around the rosy with these deuces, but now we're gonna go double up to an Austin Rogers 4.
Well, for whatever reason, KT tonight just wanting to get to yellow. I mean, maybe that's something from deep in his playbook, but it hasn't worked entirely through 3 games. Back over to. Oh, okay, double yellow reverse in there.
Oh, it's not your turn, Lane.
No, it is. It's the bot's taking a little bit here.
Okay, yeah, it's yeah, I haven't stumbled upon
There it
this
goes.
often, so.
Which KT probably we're going to be more than happy to oblige to let the bot kind of slow down there a little bit, slow down his play, let the bot catch up.
Now we're going in the blue territory. Down to a Brad 2. And there's them right there with a 6. Now there's a power play by KT. That's his first one of the evening. As he is at 5 cards, so could this be another, could he be copycatting Lane from game 2? Could he have a 5-card run to the finish?
I would highly expect it. It's a blue 5 to start it off as well. I'd have to look back and see, but I'm pretty sure both power plays started off with a blue 5.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, we'll have to go back and look. But now KT, he was able to get game 4, and now we're back to an even series. Yep, as players offer their respects to each other. Here, let me just ask Tapir a question here for his analysis on just how Lane is I think he's composing himself pretty well in this series. He's definitely showing his finesse really well to KT, especially that power play to end game 2. So, what's your analysis on Lane and how he's adapting to KT's playing style? Because these players have never played each other before. So, what's your take on how he's doing against KT?
It's come a long way, that's for sure. Once again, I don't think really anybody saw this run coming, but I think Lane really made a name for himself, and he's proving his worth right now. Just to keep it tied 2-2 going into Game 5 versus KT, legend, the myth, the man, the legend, right? So to keep it tied is impressive in itself, whether or not he loses on like a crazy Game 9 or whatever, 5-4, right? We'll see. I think he's got the composure part down, just as long as he doesn't fumble that last power play, right? Because he's one to use those power plays early, and it might come down to a situation where he's going to need that to be a saving grace later in the matchup. So we'll see if he pulls that off, or if if KT's going to take down the W. So yeah, I think we're good to run it back for Game 5.
Yeah, excellent.
And
Sounds good to me.
oh,
Oh,
sorry.
you go ahead.
No, I'll let you ask Lane the question, and I've got a question I'll be able to ask for KT.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, yeah. Lane, I'll ask you. Yeah. So now you pretty much are a victim of your own kind of play, if you will. You used the power play in game two to make one final run, and now KT was able to do the same copycat move against you in game four. So like, you think now that you've officially played KT in a tournament like this, you kind of I guess getting more on equal ground with him as a player, in your opinion? Or do you still believe like
And
you got a long way to go to I guess match his status, I guess. And he
and then
says
for
it is what it is with the
KT, I was
loss.
able to. Sorry. And then for KT, the question was going to be I did look back through. You did actually use the same exact starter of the power play. So the question I have for you then is did you have the blue five in your hand to start, and did you kind of circle that as a turnaround is fair play type of power play from the get go?
Well, the thing with that is you got to understand it becomes more of a back end door, man. It's just it becomes a back end door for me, and you got to look at this as both guys are, you know, what is it? You said blue five, right?
Yeah, so both of you used your first power play to play a blue five into a 4 card run.
Okay. I mean, you said the starter hand though.
I said, did you have it to start? Did you have it in your hand to start, and have that as like a circled as like an end play?
Man, let me look. Yeah, I did, but I mean, I had. Let me look. One skip, two skip, yellow skip. Yeah, I had three five. I had five reverse skip meta going. So
Mm.
I don't know what to do there. I mean, I haven't got a single plus two, so I'm thinking, okay, what do I do on the back end? But I don't know. This is weird. I mean, I guess we're just neutralized on the power play. I don't really know. It's just I don't know, man. It's like I had reverse skip meta, but I'm not getting this plus two chain. It's the one thing I'm just looking at. What could I possibly do better when we don't have the plus twos because I can't send them back? So
Well, I mean, you're
I don't
playing a
know.
guy who coming off of his last game, he didn't have plus fours and still managed to win.
Yeah,
So it's not like getting plus twos is the key. It
no,
is
no.
interesting to see this time around Lane not getting the wilds from the bot. Let's see if that's gonna be a thing that can still prevail and get him to the win.
I just gotta say, since you mentioned it just a little bit, uh, those wilds, the plus fours are massively overpowered over the regular wilds. So, 'cause, you're sending your opponent back for. So I'm thinking, even though KT's got those 3 wilds, and remember, 2 of those were on game one, I believe. Just kept going right back to the color he needed. So we're gonna see if Lane can pull off that Houdini escape, right? Escape from the arena here. And one other thing, excuse me, just as I noticed, the one skip, one skip, two skip, red skip, blue skip, right? I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of that tonight. So yeah, yeah, I
Well,
think
that's right. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I did notice that too.
it was a red and a blue, and then a green right there at the end. So I think it's gonna be fun to see all those chains come out, skips, reverses, a lot of flexibility here in
Yeah.
those switches.
All right, real good. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess we can go ahead and move on to the fifth game. So we're back to KT's call. Both players each have a power play to use. You just can't pick 14 or 11. So what else you want to
We'll
do?
go. We'll go up one. We'll go 12 pack.
Gonna do a 12, an even dozen. Asking you shall receive, and we shall begin.
Lucky seven starting off.
And for Lane, 7 and 13 are his lucky numbers because he was able to win on both card starts. And he's got a little bit lucky there. KT has to draw back on that. Either he just doesn't have anything to respond straight up, or it could be strategic why he's drawing back one.
Yeah, I was gonna say with 12 cards, I wouldn't put it past KT to have had red, and maybe either it's a +2 or some sort of action card where he couldn't close the door, or just didn't have the right connector to play off of the red for whatever he did have. And I just realized, yeah, that's the second time Lane switched over to blue using his own card in this series.
Yeah, very interested. Now we go 2 to a 1. Skip to a 5.
There's another reverse into the JT card.
Yeah, back to Lane's turn again.
Struggling again. Oh. No, it didn't play it. Okay. Wait, no. Oh, it played the blue 3 that time. Okay.
And KT's going to double up on that with an M6.
Did he play a blue 2? Oh, there would have only been the one blue 2 left if he did have it. Got stuck on the zero sugar blue, over to green. Or sorry, over to yellow, misread it.
Yeah, Drip is one of the players that KT had to go through, and then to Stingray, and now Lane. So that's been his journey.
KT controlling the color swaps. He does switch it back over to red, so would either, I'm trying to see when other times he drew. So either he drew the red off of that draw, or he already had the red one to begin. Because that's the only time he's drawn. Lane's going to test whether or not that is the only red that KT has.
Yep, he plays your card, but then KT goes to green now.
Some things had to be built, not watered. Some foundations had to be earned, not built.
Yeah, now Lane's got a draw now. Doesn't quite have a answer to a green as he would like. Oh, what a quick win by KT, doing a 6-pack and then into his own blue wild to end it.
Ultimate power move.
Yeah. Yeah, sure looks like it. Yeah, it's not really much to comment on that. Just a smart playing by KT to save those +2s for the end.
Yeah.
Those were the only +2s that you even have played this whole series up until right then. So nice way to...
I was gonna say I finally got him. I guess I needed to ask the Uno gods for some. There's no question to that. That was plan A. I mean,
the only question I would have, I guess, said was it truthful draw where you top decked the red 1?
Oh yeah, I had no red. Well, I had a wild, but why the hell would I use it turn 1?
Of course.
I had nothing, so I just hoping for a red 1 or a red, and I got the red 1, and then I had a red 1, yellow 1 connector, I think it was. I had 2 1s, and then I was able to work around it. Yeah, and then he went to red, I went to green. Had a feeling with the +2s, right? I could play a little creative with that. Right? I had a good feeling with that. I finally had something to work with. He's only gotten 1 +2 tonight. I've only gotten 2, so it's been a low +2 game. It's been a reverse skip meta game. Even the +4s haven't. I have gotten my favorite card, but a while. But at the end of the day, those have been finishes. So I don't even think there's anything to ask to Lane. I mean, Really, A. It was just plan A. Really don't got
Mm.
much.
Not that isn't just asking like a strategy question, yeah.
Keep
I
it
mean,
moving. Keep it moving
yeah,
though. It can't wait. It can't wait.
there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Lane just ultimately did not have any real answer to stop KT. But all right, we'll head to game 6. I believe it is still KT's call, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So yeah, just 11, 12, and 14. So what option you want to go with?
We'll save the 15 for later. We'll go 10 here.
Okay, gonna go down to 10 now, and see if you can master this card start victory. Again, both players still having their last power plays available as we start off with a William Brock 1.
I will say it is very interesting that going into this game 6, the difference in cards played is now sitting at basically the difference in cards drawn. KT with a 12 card advantage in the cards played. Lane's drawn 10 more cards with the combination of the +2s and the +4s, so and self draws. KT gets the early color swap over to red. Fast pace
Yeah,
here in game 6. Sorry.
it is pretty fast. Yeah, from a DJ to Ghost to a U and then up to a 9 there.
The monkey combo there. Yeah, we're not gonna say anything other than that.
Yep. Yeah, if you know, you know.
Switches over to green.
Yep, still up at the ceiling with the green 9. Down to the basement with a green
From,
0 sugar.
yep, from max to min.
Lane's got a draw. KT switches to a plant 5. Again, those zeros can be difficult to get a top deck off of, and just even the greens in general. Lane has run dry. Now he goes to a JT5 into blue, so it could free up Lane a bit. We'll have to see.
And KT's smart. He's too smart for that, right? Because you would expect just being a little fade look there from Lane, see what happens. Turns out KT played that blue 5 and Lane dittoed on it anyway. And there
Whoa,
goes the
check
win
that
for
out
KT.
again. KT
Takes it up 4 to
managing
2.
to he's managing to end these games real quick. That was without a doubt the quickest played game this match. And so KT, I can tell you're getting more comfortable with running things a little bit quicker. When I know in your match with Stingray, you guys took a lot more time. You think maybe the lateness factor might be a reason why we're kind of speeding these games up? Okay, he'll just be right back a bit, but yeah, Lane, that's twice, well, 3 times in a row now that KT has been able to defeat you in a shortened game length. Yeah, he just had a junk hand. He couldn't get anything in time. So with 4 wins to KT, yeah, if KT gets one more, that's basically it. So your guys' analysis on how Lane should approach this game 7.
Well, obviously, I gotta say, Lane's gonna have to take a much more conservative approach to game 7, 8, 9. Because one wrong move and that's game over for KT. Remember, he's still got that one power play, right? The power plays are still tied 1-1, and you can't take it with you. So Lane's really gonna have to sit down and think about how he's gonna maneuver. The boss man, as he said in his opening statement. So um, that winning 3 straight is nothing unheard of, but against KT, it's going to be very difficult. So we're going to have to see what transpires, and I'm looking forward to it. So, yep.
And for me, I'm looking for Lane to try and make some sort of an adjustment. Clearly, KT's kind of won the last 2 games on a similar style, so clearly he's found something in there. It's now a matter on Lane trying to adjust, throw in a different look, and if nothing else, at least just anticipate that move coming. KT's really good about making sure to make adjustments, so I'm sure he's going to make his own adjustment as well. Now that I've pointed it out that he's made the same type of move, so from that aspect, it's just a matter of having some good anticipation for Lane. I think that's what it's going to come down to.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so Lane, it is going to be your call for Game
What was the
7.
was there a question or no? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
I
just
think
a
that
quick
was.
one for you. I mean,
Oh, okay.
I noticed you were able to get these last few wins against Lane with 3 of the quickest paced games that we've seen all series. I mean, you think it's
Yeah.
you think it's the lateness, or more so you want to try to throw Lane off balance by going
Uh,
faster than what he's used to.
Probably both, man. Honest to God, when it's this late, KT brains start turning the captain right now. I mean, Christ, 2-minute wins. What's going on here? But no, it's I had another plan A hand. Really, I mean, I don't know what else to say. It was plan A, and when I get those plan A hands, it's nice. Like I said, I didn't have a single. Yeah, I don't think I had a single +2. Yeah, no +2. So I just had that +4, but I just was able to get the switches right. It's what I really do well. It's really
Okay,
Sanford knows. I mean, shoot,
yeah.
he's seen me.
All right, sweet there. So yeah, so it is going to be Lane's call for at least at least this game, and the
Was
next
it
one
only
too,
5
game
hours?
8.
Okay, I can start for that.
So
Thanks for
yeah,
the
For the main,
explicit. I appreciate it.
oh GP. All right, yes. So Lane, he's got to win this one out for him to stay alive here for games 7, 8, and 9. So all right, Lane, you just can't do 7 or 13. How many are we going to go with?
This carefully anonymous corporate entity owns 78% shares. The company's latest valuation would put his
We're doing 8. All right. It's going to go crazy 8. Another single digit card start. And we do start off with an 8.
And he's going to play an 8.
Yeah, the number 8 very much centralized at the start of this one.
I don't hate, I pun intended, I don't hate the 8 start because anything less, I would say, is more luck based because you could just really have a plan A hand, and that's really not advantageous for Lane right now. He really needs to get KT to draw back some and get that advantage. So I don't hate the 8 there. I might have preferred something a little more mid tier, but we'll see how he handles it here.
Oh, now he's got an Ashley Red, who will be the opponent that either of these two players will face in the final 4. So what's he going to follow it up
artificial
with?
door closed there for Lane.
He's going to play DJ5. Or nope, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a KT who had to play that. I thought it was Lane. I got it mixed up.
Wait a minute. What?
That's a KT classic, ain't it?
He tried it, but KT had a 5.
Well, he only had that one, and then it looks like Lane just top decked that ghost one. I'm wondering if Lane is, sort of playing that conservative game here because he didn't want anything to do with that blue. I'm just wondering why that switch back into red.
Yeah, I don't
And now he's
like.
No, he's iced out
drawn
now.
back the last 3 times, and we're back into blue.
To me, I feel like even down, the better
There you
play
go.
there
Oh,
isn't to rely on the KT Classic. It's more to just worst case there, just draw and see if you can't top deck the blue or the connector reverse something. That's what I think I would have looked for there, but I mean it is Lane's game. He's got to play it the way he needs to.
Oh, this
He's
move.
desperate.
This is an interesting move. If
Here's
KT
the
has
thing.
a +2, I mean, honestly, Lane's cooked, I'd say. Oh, and yes, he did. Oh man, what a stinger
Brutal.
of a play by KT on the lane. I mean, that +2 open. I've made
Both
that
three
mistake.
+2s
Yeah,
in that run.
I've made that mistake many times in my early days too, and I've had to learn out the hard way as well. But he'll trying to wiggle his way out of it by going back into red.
Wasn't comeback territory because Lane only got sent back to 18. But KT down to 3 now. And
Yep.
on the power play lock.
Yeah, Lane's still 13 cards behind. Lane can still use a power play defensively if he chooses to.
Well, not if KT offensive power plays it to
Right.
win the series.
You might as well. You can't take it with you.
Yeah, he's definitely close.
And I think that's where KT's looking, trying to visualize what he's got.
There it is.
That's game. That's match.
Game set
Some people
match.
will
There you
complain
are.
about me doing that, but that's the match.
Well, I have a couple words to say. Ashley, let's run it back.
That's right. And that is what KT is going to do. He is victorious over Lane Sanders tonight as we have reached the hour point on the stream. Fantastic match by both players, but ultimately KT, he just got the last couple of games, and KT's going to get the glory, and he'll run it back to Ashley, which I believe he has faced in the Final Four in the past, if my memory serves me right.
It's
I
actually
faced her in the finale. I won last year, but oh man, yeah, I'm kind of cooked. I'm not gonna lie. It is way past my bedtime, but no, I hats off to Lane. Obviously, we had a bunch of technical difficulties, right, to get this thing started. He played his ass off. I don't know, man. It's just when you get these late games, right? It's yeah, he got his 2 wins right with the class. But as far as Ashley, man, I look forward to playing her. Obviously, we had a insane game last year, insane series in the finale. I have a lot of respect for her, right? And I don't even know. Someone's gonna have to fact check me. Maybe Sanford will, but I don't even remember the last time I played a game on the road. It's been crikey. I don't know, maybe 2.5 years ago. I don't remember the last time I played a road series. I mean, I have an average starting seat of 4.82, right? So it's been a while. It's been a while. So I'll have to adjust to the road. It's been a long time, but I look forward to playing the champ. And congrats to Lane on a good run. And that's all I got. And Jake, back to you, JT.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, I mean, Lane, I mean, even though you ultimately didn't win the war, I mean, the 2 wins that you needed, I mean, that made you, champ of the veterans class. So that's still a great achievement for you. So, just your overall analysis of your March Madness tournament and your just experience of everything you've gone through.
His hand settled possessively on her waist.
And also, if you're a little bit more relieved to not face Ashley, or you think you might have had something for you if you did get the win over KT tonight.
Richard's 14-year-old daughter had changed too. Gone were the ripped jeans and band t-shirts she'd insisted were the height of fashion just last week. In their place was an outfit that looked like it had walked straight off a teenage influencer's Instagram page.
Yeah, well, not KT, Tapir, Charles, yeah, this was just about as fun as I kind of thought it'd be. Just either one of you can just elaborate on, these players' performances, where their strengths were, where their weaknesses were, and just ultimate and your thoughts on KT, refacing Ashley again, and what we can expect to see for that one.
I guess I'll go first. I expect this to be at least a little bit closer. I'm still working on fact checking for KT there on the last road series. But to me, I feel like for Lane, it just kind of got behind the eight ball. Maybe got away from him a little bit tonight. And some of the plays, realistically, were just kind of desperation plays. He's saying off to bed, so I'm thinking might have been a situation. He just like KT, he was getting a little tired. Brain wasn't working properly. And so I don't think this was Lena 100%. KT's gotten the performances that he really kind of needs. He saw what winning in March did last year. He also knows the stat that the March tournament winner has yet to win Super League and hasn't necessarily fared well once they got to Super League. So we'll see how hard KT's fighting. I mean, once you get to the Final Four, you almost kind of look as you're fighting hard anyway, no matter what, I think. But at the same point, we'll see what it depends on what KT's wanting out of this. He'll make it a good series no matter what when he gets over to Ashley. But I also know full well I don't think either player is going to be wanting to show the other person in that series everything that they've got going on. So they know it's on stream. They know that they're likely to play each other again in September when it matters more for Super League. So there's going to be a little bit of gamesmanship for sure on that one, and I think it's going to come down to who really wants that one, who wants it less, maybe, I guess, or who's worried about it less, or I don't know. That's basically, I think it's going to be interesting to see who comes out of that one, because I think there's going to be a little bit of gamesmanship in terms of not wanting to show everything to the other player there.
Well, I mean, there always will be gamesmanship. With Ashley, obviously, we know each other very well. Last year, I think it was a little bit different. We both were coming in here with finale, Super League berth on the line. Right now, it's not the finale, but it is a Final Four. We want to put on a show, of course. The only difference, too, is, I mean, shoot, last year we only had 3 combined trophies. Man, they were all in my pocket now. We got 8 combined, right? So it's going to be a high-profile match. I've been to... I mean, at this point, man, I've been out here 5 times in this Final Four round coming up. I've been around the old block, right? I know how this goes. I'm looking forward to it. You never know when you get to play someone a second time, let alone a second time in the same exact tournament. I mean, I did that against Acosta, but that was a completely different ballpark and animal. Right, that was back in the first round. This is the final round, so looking forward to playing her. It's always a pleasure, and my hats go off to Lame. He wasn't. You could tell he was tired. I mean, shoot, I was. Oh, I'm getting there, but I hope we can fix some of the issues with the stream as well. That was we don't talk about that.
That's right. Yeah, thank you, KT. And yeah, Lane, I'll read off his answer, and then I'll get some last thoughts from Tapir. So Lane says, you got to give the old boss a good game. Wish him all the best. We just had some things not go our way this time, but we had a good run again. So, yeah, I think Lane did just about the best he could with the situation he was in. So, yeah, just what are your final thoughts on this, Tapir, before we wrap it up?
Oh yeah, I think tonight's match was a mix of Plan A and Plan B. There wasn't really a lot of in-depth strategy here, and I think that's more or less just the nature of Uno, right? Sometimes you're just gonna get an all luck hand with it doesn't even have to be wilds and plus twos and stuff. It can just be the right color, the right number at the right time, and that's how it goes. Right, you didn't even have a lot of plus twos, and not really a lot of plus fours either. It's just reverse skip meta this time. So we're gonna have to see what happens down the line with KT Ashley, a tale as old as time. Right, we got 2 veteran players that all you got to do is wait to see who blinks first. Right, you got 100, 200 looks each. Pull them out at any time. You could have Plan Z if you want it. Plan 475, and it still might be not be enough. So that's going to be a super exciting match. Definitely looking forward to that one. I am sure we're going to have a great audience for that match as well. And I am looking forward to see who's going to be emerge victorious there too. So yeah, back to you, JT.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we'll get out of the stage. We'll go back to the bracket. The Final Four is officially set. Ashley, the Gryffindor champ, KT, the Slytherin champ. They're going to face each other. Meanwhile, over on the right, Diego Yepes, the Hufflepuff champ, versus Nick, the Ravenclaw champ, as we will wait their matchup as well. And we will eagerly look forward to all of you joining us for this Final Four match that you're going to be, I'm personally excited to see here. But on behalf of everybody, being here, everyone in the Discord watch party, for Charles, for Tapir, joining up in the commentary booth, for Julio Caesar being the ref, that is tonight's match between Lane and KT. KT coming out with a 5-2 win over Lane Sanders. This is Jesse Turner one more time up here in the commentary booth. We look forward to seeing you folks for the remainder of this March Madness tournament. We are in the Final Four. Can't wait for you to join us for the rest of the matches. In the meantime, good night, everybody. So long, and happy Uno.
Everything. Oh my God.